ladies and gentlemen. You're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
Well, for most of the evening, it's been weather fit for a duck, but it's cleared up, and now it is time for baseball as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. Tonight, it's the New York Yankees against the Baltimore Orioles in the second game of a three-game set from Camden Yards here in Baltimore. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball, along with Ken Singleton. I'm Michael Kay. Yankees don't want to rain out because they're playing very good baseball. They've won 4 of their last 5, pulled to win 2.5 of the Boston Red Sox, and one of the main reasons is the output of Starlin Castro.
All-star Starlin Castro back in the lineup for the Yankees, and they're very happy to have him. Let's go back to the Red Sox series. Big hit in this game against the Red Sox. This is going to clear the bases. Bases loaded double. Yankees were on their way to a win in that particular game. And then yesterday afternoon, game was tied. 5th inning, 2-run shot by Castro. The Yankees take the lead. They would not give up, and they win the opening game of the series by a score of 7-4.
Let's check out tonight's cold hard facts. They're brought to you by Clean, Crisp, Coors Light. Since returning from the DLS, 10 games now, 14 for 39. That's 359 for Castro. 4 doubles, a home run, and 9 runs batted in. Let's take a look at tonight's pitching matchup, brought to you by People's United Bank N.A. Jeremy Hellickson will get the start for the Orioles, and for the Yankees, it's CC Sabathia, and he has been pitching very well of late.
Yeah, the Yankee rotation is really turning it on, including CC. We're going to take a look at his last start against the Boston Red Sox, which was a win for the Yankees. Started out with a little controversy. CC not happy with the Red Sox trying to bunt on him, but he didn't let that deter him for the rest of the game. He got the job done. 6 innings, 4 hits. He walked 5 in the game. More walks than hits allowed, but the Yankees won. CC came away with his 11th win of the season.
All right, coming up, we're getting closer to baseball. When we return, lineups, first pitch, baseball, Yankees-Orioles next, right here on Yes. Yes is brought to you in part by the New York Lottery. Get out there and play. By Bigelow Tea, who encourages you to grab a mug and tea proudly. By Coke Industries. At Coke, we make things that make the world better. Well, the rain has stopped here in Baltimore, so we will have baseball after about, not official yet, 2 hours and 15 minutes of a delay to the start of the game. So the Orioles have taken the field. We'll take a look at the Yankees starting lineup, which is presented by Lexus. Leading off for the Yankees, left fielder Brett Gardner, Aaron Judge in right will bat second, hitting third. Second baseman Starlin Castro. D.D. Gregorius hit his 20th home run yesterday. He's the shortstop. He'll clean up. Batting fifth, the DH Matt Holliday. Great numbers this year against the Orioles. Greg Bird's at first base, batting sixth. Batting seventh, the third baseman Todd Frazier. Jacoby Ellsberg in center field will hit eighth. And batting ninth and catching, Austin Romine.
On the mound for the Orioles tonight in the second game of this three-game series, the veteran Jeremy Hellickson. He's 4-2 in his career against the New York Yankees. That's what he's done so far this year with Philadelphia and Baltimore. He was a trade deadline deal coming over to the Orioles. They wanted to bolster their rotation. You can see his numbers on the year. Let's check out the pitcher scouting report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. 2011. With the Rays, he was Rookie of the Year with a career-high 13 wins that year. But his last three starts here of late, he has not been pitching well. His ERA 8.82. He has struggled somewhat. His best pitch might be his changeup. He's not an overpowering type pitcher, but his changeup's been one of the best in the game over the last few years.
Well, the Yankees have won 4 of their last 5, 2.5 games behind the Red Sox. Bottom of the 7th inning at Fenway, and the Blue Jays lead the Red Sox 2-0. We'll keep an eye on that as we move along. Orioles trying to move up in the wild card race as well, so a lot at stake. Brett Gardner's ready. Jeremy Hellickson is ready. And let's do it here at Camden Yards. First pitch is a strike, and we're underway.
You will notice that Hellickson's fastball not much above 92. As I said, he's not overpowering, but his changeup and curveball are excellent. Changeup he learned while in the Rays organization.
James Hoy is the home plate umpire. Sean Barber is at first. Jeff Kellogg, the crew chief, at second. And Will Little is over at third.
Now Gardner, of course, one of the catalysts of the Yankees batting order at the very top. He has scored 84 runs. That's second Aaron Judge on the team. His career high is 97, so he has a chance to top his career high in runs scored with a good solid September here.
2-2. Obviously after a long delay, and this rain was in the forecast, a sparse crowd here at Camden Yards, so you can hear each and everything that each and every person is saying.
Including us.
So we better pipe down.
Yeah. Actually, it started raining in the area around 5 o'clock.
Two. Fouled away.
Hellickson started the year with the Philadelphia Phillies. And the Phillies had some, they felt some younger pitchers might bolster their rotation. Aaron Nola has had a good year for the Phillies and is becoming their ace. And Hellickson pitched fairly well in Philadelphia, but as I said, not so well here of late.
2-2. Foul back.
He's allowed 6 or more runs in 3 of his last 4 starts here with the Orioles. That only happened in 3 of 20 starts with the Phillies.
And the 2-2. Another foul ball.
Yeah, one of the keys to the Yankee victory yesterday is they drove up Dylan Bundy's pitch count, particularly in that 4th inning when they made him throw 32 pitches. And the very first hitter of the game was Brett Gardner, and it was an 8-pitch at bat. Right now, it's 7. Gardner's making him work, and there's still nobody out here in the first inning.
It's going to be a 9-pitch at bat at least.
And that's what Brett Gardner can do. He can foul pitches off until he gets one he can really put a charge into.
Popped up. Beckham on the outfield grass makes the play for the first out of the game. Let's check out the Orioles defense presented by our very good friends at Geico. In the outfield, you've got Mancini in left, Jones in center, and Joey Rickard is over and right. In the infield, Machado, Beckham, Scope, and Davis third to first. Castillo behind the plate. And Jeremy Hellickson is on the mound. And he's going to face Aaron Judge. Judge 4 walks and a single in yesterday's game.
Now, yesterday, Judge batted in the 5th spot. And I think Joe Girardi bumps him up to second. Headley's out again. Headley batted second yesterday. But Joe Girardi moves Judge into the second slot, maybe to get him some pitches to hit in tonight's game.
Now, with the 4 walks yesterday and the single, his on-base percentage is at .412. And that's the second highest on-base percentage for a Yankee rookie after Charlie King Kong Keller had a .447 on-base percentage in 1939. Ooh. 1-1. Grounded sharply to third. Right there is Machado. Fires across to get Judge for the second out.
You know, you're talking about on-base percentages, and 380 is very respectable. If you get on base 38% of the time, that's you get over 40%, you are doing your job, setting it up for your teammates.
Let's look at the game time weather presented by City MD. Feeling under the weather? Just walk into City MD Urgent Care. 72 degrees, still a lot of moisture in the air, 90% humidity, not much wind, and there's more showers in the forecast. Here's Starlin Castro. Told you what he's done since he's come off the DL. He loves hitting against the Orioles this year. 400, 5 home runs, and 15 runs batted in.
He and Didi have been a wrecking crew against them. Didi's batting in the 4th spot tonight.
And the Yankees have done well against the Orioles. They're 8-5 in the 13 games so far. They have this one tomorrow and then 4 more games left at Yankee Stadium. Hellickson takes a long time, and Castro steps out.
Orioles got him from the Phillies for Hyun-Soo Kim.
There's a strike.
See how close it's a new look.
Two and one.
That's a little different, wasn't it?
Very.
Yeah.
And they had the matching colors for the team they were rooting for.
Color coordinated, yeah.
A lot of things going on there, and I don't know if we should get into it. 2-1. 2-2.
Castro with a 3-hit game here yesterday. Drove in 3 runs. His 9th 3-hit game of the season.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Castro down on strikes. Yankees go down in order against Hellickson. Yankees nothing, and the Orioles coming to bat. On the mound, taking his warm-ups. We'll take a look at the Orioles starting lineup. Tim Beckham, the shortstop, leads off, batting second. Third baseman Manny Machado. Jonathan Scope at second will hit third. Cleaning up, center fielder Adam Jones. Trey Mancini at left will bat fifth. Batting sixth, the DH Mark Trumbo. Chris Davis at first base will bat seventh. Batting eighth and catching, Wellington Castillo. Good numbers in his last 12 games. And Joey Rickard is in right field. He's going to bat ninth.
Veteran left-hander CC Sabathia. He gets the start for the Yankees tonight. 19-10 in his career against the Baltimore Orioles. He's had 2 starts against Baltimore this year, and no decisions in both starts, but the Yankees won both of the games. There are his numbers on the year: 11-5, looking for his 12th win of the year. Let's check out the pitcher scouting report, brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. 1.893 ERA in his last 3 starts. And you can see his last 14 starts, he gets stingy when runners get in scoring position. They're just hitting 167 against him. And this year with the 11 wins, it's the most wins he's had in the season since 2013. Now, there have been some injuries involved during that time, but CC looking for an even dozen victories with a win tonight against Baltimore.
And in his 22 starts, Yankees 15-7 in those games. So here's Beckham. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it back. Orioles got Beckham at the non-waiver trade deadline, July 31st, for right-handed pitcher Tobias Myers. And he's done a great job. 50 hits in August, 15 multi-hit games for the O's. Playing like the player that the Rays always wanted him to be, as the first pick in the draft.
Yeah, yesterday was his 3rd career leadoff home run. All 3 of them since coming to the Orioles.
One and two.
If that pitch is working for CC tonight, he can be very difficult because he can drop it over the outside corner. He can throw it a little harder to the inside. And of course, he has a changeup, 2-seam sinker. And every once in a while, he'll throw a high riding fastball.
They go to the bottom of the 8th inning at Fenway. Toronto 2, Red Sox nothing. Count 2-2 on Beckham. Orioles are 70-68. The Yankees are 74-63. So Beckham making him work.
There's a little cutter on the inner half, and he just got a piece of it and fouled it off. You know, one of the keys for any pitcher when you watch early in ball games, see how well they move the ball from corner to corner. CC's done a good job in this at bat against Beckham, coming in and hitting the inside corner. Nothing's been in the middle of the plate.
And the 2-2.
He took a little off of that one, and Beckham was out in front. Been a lot of breaking balls in this at bat. Not one real true four-seam fastball.
2-2. Up the middle. Castro grabs, fires from the knee, and gets him. Nice play by Castro. One away.
Well, positioned almost perfectly. He had to dive, but a lot of the good plays that you see start out by being where you are to begin with. And Castro diving to his right, throws from his knees, and gets Beckham at first base. Excellent play by the Yankees second baseman. Here it is on Yesmo, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. Quickly to his, well, not to his feet, but to his knees. And gets enough on the throw. Nice stretch by Bird. And Beckham's out by 2 or 3 steps.
There's Manny Machado. Fouled away.
We had talked about yesterday how Machado had struggled early in the year. His average at 272, where it is now, it's the highest it's been since the 4th game of the season.
That one's looped into right field. Castro's there to make the play. For the second out, we'll check out the entire Yankees defense presented by Geico. Gardner's in left, Ellsbury in center, and Judge over in right. Infield, Todd Frazier, D.D. Gregorius. We've seen Starlin Castro. Birds at first, Romine behind the plate, and Karsten Charles Sabathia is on the mound. Here's Jonathan Scope. Grounded foul.
You'll notice one thing that's kind of common among all these Orioles hitters. They're aggressive. They swing early in the count. We mentioned yesterday that the fact that they're down near the bottom in walks.
One, 2-1. Scope with 101 runs batted in to go along with 30 home runs. 2-1. Strike, 2-2.
Yeah, but some people would say it was a breakout season for him, but I kind of think it was last year. He had 25 home runs last year, so he was on his way to becoming one of the better second basemen in this league. He's solid defensively as well. Look out. CC with a calling card, looked like a little cutter, stayed up and in.
And Scope walks.
That's kind of a rarity for him. Just the 32nd time he's walked this year. Yeah, I looked it up last night. Jones, Scope, and Beckham. You total their walks together, Aaron Judge has walked more than all the 3 of them combined.
Well, 212 home runs. They're cutting and slashing, but the Yankees are right behind them at 198, and they do take their walks. Jones fouls it back. 0-1.
I saw him check with Romine after that. I wonder if he got a piece of the Yankee catcher.
Good numbers against Sabathia, 23 for 76, 5 homers, 15 ribbies, so we've seen him a lot.
Yeah, they've squared off a number of times. Yep, just on the back of the left shoulder. Long swing and the follow through.
Grounded softly to third, and it hits the bag. It's going to be a base hit. Frazier's only chance was to let it kick foul. It didn't hit the bag.
Here's another look as it tumbles down the third base line and just hits the corner of the bag. Good for a base hit from Adam Jones. Yesterday took an 0 for 4. Not much that Frazier could do, as Michael said.
So first and second, 2 men out, and here is Trey Mancini.
You know, Mancini kind of burst upon the scene last year with the Orioles. I think he was 5 for 14, and 4 of his hits were extra bases, 3 home runs and a double. And this year, he got hot right from the beginning as well.
That one gets away from Romine. Both runners move up.
I believe this is going to be a wild pitch. Yep, hitting just on the point of home plate, off the glove of Romine. Runners can move up.
.2-0 count on Mancini. Second and third, 2 men out. Bottom of the first inning. There's a strike.
I was talking about Mancini. His first 26 games in Major Leagues, he hit 10 home runs. Only 2 other players had hit more. George Scott, the late George Scott, had 11, and Gary Sanchez had 11.
Two and two. They go to the top of the 9th inning in Boston. Blue Jays 2-0 over the Red Sox.
You get a feeling Roberto Osuna's coming in that game, don't you?
Yes.
Try and close it out for the Blue Jays.
It didn't work on Sunday against the Orioles.
No,
so
it didn't.
No one's a real sure thing. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Bottom of the first inning. Pitch. Just missed inside. Well, they're getting Sabathia to throw a lot of pitches here in the first inning.
Yeah, this is what, number 24, and he's trying to pick off the inside corner for call strike 3. Didn't get the call. Just missed.
3-2. Grounded softly to short. Charging Gregorius, and he has to eat it. A run will score. It's a base hit for Mancini, and the Orioles lead 1-0.
Well, the Orioles take the lead, and they haven't had a ball go out of the infield in this inning. CC cannot make the play. Lets it go for Didi, and I believe he comes up with it cleanly and makes the transfer. He has it, but you can see he couldn't get the grip on the ball, and the Orioles going to take a 1-0 lead. Didi charging, no throw, no play. Mancini has an infield hit and a run batted in.
So the wild pitch hurts because it moved the runner to third. First and third now 2 outs. Orioles up 1-0, and here is Mark Trumbo. High fly ball, center field. Ellsbury comes on and makes the play, and that will do it. 1 run, 2 hits, and 2 men left on base. Orioles 1, Yankees 0. We take it to the second.
Didi Gregorius leads off here in the second inning. Yesterday, he hit his 20th home run of the year. The second straight season he has managed 20 homers. Gregorius will continually tell me that he's not a home run hitter. Instead, he's focused on making solid contact and consistent at-bats, not hitting the ball over the wall. But then he smiled from ear to ear and said, I am sure glad that they find their way out sometimes. Guys, since joining the team in 2015, Gregorius has boosted his batting average every year. He's proven he's not a platoon player. He can hit lefties. He's been an asset on offense and defense, and according to manager Joe Girardi, at 27 years old, there is still an awful lot of room to grow.
And one thing he's also done, Meredith, he's become a leader on this team at a very young age, and he's the one who sends out the fun tweets at the end of the game, which they all take pride in and take note of, and he's a guy that they listen to in that room. Count 1-0 on Gregorius.
Yeah, Meredith mentioned that he's had back-to-back 20 home run season. Now, he did miss the first month of the season with a shoulder injury, so he would have gotten to 20 a lot earlier. At least I feel that way. And he's the first Yankee shortstop ever to have back-to-back 20 home run seasons.
Three 3-0. Well, it turned out to be a great deal for the Yankees, and he didn't seem like he was much of a hitter with the Diamondbacks, but certainly he's proven to be quite a hitter for the Yankees. Here he is batting cleanup in an important September game. 3-0. There's a strike.
Well, you do the math, 62 career home runs, 40 in the last 2 years. So he's coming on.
And Gregorius walks. Maybe they will try him at leadoff one day.
One walk does not make you a leadoff hitter.
Now here's Holiday. Didn't play in yesterday's game. Great numbers against the Orioles this year. 18 for 44, 409. 6 homers and 16 ribbies. Hit big home runs Saturday and Sunday against the Red Sox at the stadium.
Yeah, Michael, you mentioned the big numbers for Holiday against Baltimore, big numbers for Judge, big numbers for Didi. He's hit 5 home runs against Baltimore this year. In the 8 wins the Yankees have against Baltimore this year, they've outscored them 86-33.
Two 2-0 on Holiday.
Well, Hellickson's fallen behind the first 2 hitters in this inning. Eventually walking Didi, and now Holiday up there with a 3-0 count.
And he walks him on 4 pitches. 2 straight walks to open up the second. First and second, nobody out for Greg Bird.
Oh, he told you that Hellickson's not overpowering. He has to live on the corners, and he's maybe trying to be too fine, and he's walked the first 2 hitters. And he's kind of painted himself into a corner here. He's got Bird coming up. Todd Frazier on deck. So he's kind of opening the door for the Yankees here in the second.
Pitch outside to Bird. So Hellickson has lost the strike zone, 1-0.
Yeah, Bird went 0 for 5 yesterday, but Michael, I thought he had some pretty good swings. And he was just a little off. It just missed a few pitches. Might be the rust.
There's a strike. 1-1. Orioles 1-0 over the Yankees. We're in the top of the second inning. Game delayed about 2¼ hours because of rain. One. High fly ball, center field. Jones is there to make the play. 1 down.
Yet another just missed for Greg Bird. But he made a good pass just underneath this one and didn't drive it. He's got a beautiful swing.
There's Todd Frazier. .211 overall, .220 with 6 homers and 17 ribbies since coming over to the Yankees. Gregorius at second, Holiday's at first. 1 man out in the second. Fastball strike, 0-1.
Matter whether it's high enough, it's on the corner for sure. And Wellington Castillo, if it was low, he brought it back up into the zone.
Fouled away. 0-2. Runners lead. And the 0-2. 1-2. Now, bad weather certainly delayed the start of this game. Supposedly more bad weather in the forecast tomorrow. Thursday is a common off day for these two teams. So if tomorrow is rained out, Thursday would be the makeup date. They lose that off day and gain one tomorrow. One, 2. 2-2.
Well, sometimes it doesn't feel like an off day because you come out the ballpark and you wait and you wait and you wait. You're in uniform and you're not really you got the juices semi-flowing and then there's no game.
Fouled the other way.
Kind of an emergency swing and by Frazier, but his bat continues. And there's one happy young fan down the right field line.
They go to the bottom of the 9th inning at Fenway. Blue Jays 2, Red Sox nothing. Popped up. Infield fly rule called as Scope makes the play. 2 outs. So that's going to bring up Ellsbury. First two batters in this inning walked, and Yankees are not away from squandering this opportunity. Ellsbury, a modest 3-game hitting streak. He's 10 for his last 27. Once again, an everyday player with the injury to Aaron Hicks. And the pitch. Big cut, 0-1. Gregorius off second, Holiday off first. Oh, 2.
Well, Hellickson trying to rally here after walking the first two. But Ellsbury's been getting some big hits lately for the Yankees. But he's in the hole in this at bat. No balls and 2 strikes.
And the 0-2. 1-2.
The last pitch was an attempt to get Ellsbury to chase one out of the zone, kind of get himself out.
Two and 2. Next up will be the 40th pitch for Hellickson. He worked a 1-2-3 first inning. Lost the plate to the first couple of batters here in the second. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Second inning, 1-0 Orioles. Three and 2, so now the base runners get a break, as they will go on the 3-2 pitch with 2 outs.
Just saw a veteran move by Matt Holliday at first base. He turned to the first base umpire and asked, "Is it 3 and 2?" You don't be running on a 2-2 count.
Runners go. Popped up. Scope makes the play, and Hellickson works out of the jam. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 men left. We go to the bottom of the second. 1-0 O's. Time for today's conversation, brought to you by Toyota. Prius Prime is the official hybrid vehicle of the New York Yankees. Has this recent win streak changed how you feel about the Yanks' chances in the AL East? Why or why not? One of the responses, yes, because of contributions from Castro and Holiday. Their success in the first half was a major driving force. Follow Yes Network and tweet us your responses using hashtag Yankees Prius Prime to keep the conversation going. Chris Davis will lead off against CC Sabathia. 1-0 as we start at the bottom of the second. Red Sox threatening in the bottom of the ninth inning. Second and third, nobody out against Osuna, and the Blue Jays trying to hold on. They lead 2-0. 1-1 on Davis. Strike. Seems like CC has a pretty good feel for his breaking ball tonight.
Yep, that was right over the outside corner. Davis is 2 for his last 18.
Tries to go on the inside corner with a breaking ball.
That was one of the ones trying to freeze the hitter, the left-handed hitter, and have the ball drop over the corner for a strike. Let's see if he goes back away here. No, something in.
Way in. Breaking ball, strike 3. Davis down looking.
He tried it earlier in the count, didn't get it over the plate. This one stops. Davis freezes, and it drops over the inside corner for call strike 3. Dot and then drop.
There's Wellington Castillo. And a strike.
And Castillo's had a very good homestand. He's hit 5 home runs on this homestand. And none bigger than Sunday when he tied the score in the 9th inning. And then the Orioles won it in the 12th.
On the homestand, 13 for 28 for Castillo. So he's hitting an even 300 on the season. Grounded to third. Frazier. 2 away. Blue Jays 2, Red Sox 1. Runner at third base, 1 man out, bottom of the 9th inning for the Red Sox.
One thing you'll notice during the course of a game, when CC's on that stroll after an out, he usually walks halfway towards the third baseman. Third baseman ends up with the ball when it's thrown around, and then the third baseman flips him the ball because CC always takes it barehanded before he goes back to the mound. So if he's on the stroll, that means he's on a roll.
And Rickard shows bunt. Storyline from the last game against the Red Sox. Nunez bunted to open up the game. CC didn't like it. Called it weak.
Well, Rickard's a pretty good bunter, but there's 2 outs and nobody on. But the bunt's been around for a long, long time.
Red Sox have tied that game now with 2 outs, nobody on in the bottom of the 9th.
So another blown save for Osuna.
Grounded up the middle. Gregorius fields and holds on to it. Let's see if he's okay. Infield single for Rickard.
Didi says he's okay. Kind of waves everybody off. I think that might have been a byproduct of the infield being a little muddy, and he just didn't slide. He kind of stopped short. He's up. It's going to be an infield hit for Joey Rickard. Baltimore has 3 hits. None of them are left the infield.
So back to the top of the order and Tim Beckham. Off the bare hand of Sabathia, and Castro beats Rickard to the bag. I guess they'll score it a 1-4 force as Beckham's out on the fielder's choice. Authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Here's Austin Romine. One and 0 to Romine. It'll be Romine, Gardner, and Judge. 9-1-2 for the Yankees in the third inning as the Orioles lead 1-0. Hellickson, one of many starting pitchers that go from that abbreviated set position rather than the full windup. They simplify things.
Now, Romine didn't have a hit yesterday, but he had a sacrifice bunt that helped set up the last 2 Yankee runs in the 6th inning.
Grounded and through for a base hit. Romine with a leadoff single. Here's Gardner. Romine leads off first, held by Davis. And a strike. Both of these teams have done well against the American League East. The Yankees are 33-25. The Orioles are 32-25 against the East. Now with their recent stretch winning 4 or 5, the Yankees have moved to the second best record in the American League since the All-Star break. They're 29-22. The Indians are 34-16. Indians never seem to lose.
They're winning again tonight. Playing the White Sox in Chicago.
Last 5 games, Yankees 4-1. And they've pitched very well, and they certainly hit well. Good combination. This is the Yankee record by team against the East. They're 8-5 against the Orioles. They finished up with the Red Sox 11-8. Rays 8-5, and they've struggled against the Blue Jays 6-7. And the Blue Jays and the Red Sox go to the 10th, tied at 2. So some free baseball in Boston. 1-2.
77 miles per hour. Hellickson took a lot off of that one. You know, Gardner, we mentioned the fact 20 home runs, a career high, but he's closing in on a 2020 season. He's got 18 steals, a couple more. He's a 2020 outfielder.
Line to right field coming on Rickard. He'll make the play. Romine heads back.
Seen Hellickson get in on some of the left-handed hitters. We saw the pop-up by Ellsbury last inning. Just enough fastball to get in, and he hits the target. So Gardner just didn't get the good wood on it. Couldn't drive it. Upper edges of the strike zone.
There's Judge.
Hellickson's fallen behind several hitters, and each time you do that, you're flirting with danger.
Two one. 3-1.
Well, I've mentioned this before many times. This is a hitter's count. You would pick and choose what you want. And if it's not there, even if it's a strike, you take it. Judge is looking for something middle in that he can drive.
And Judge walks. Third walk issued by Hellickson, moving Romine into scoring position. Hellickson has fallen behind batters 2-0 4 times tonight, and all 4 of those batters have reached base. 3 walks and a single. The single obviously by Romine, the Yankees' only hit. Here's Castro. He struck out in the first inning. That one's chopped foul.
Now, the first time up, he got Castro to chase a pitch out of the zone with a breaking ball, and once he got him to 2 strikes. You shouldn't let a pitcher get you out the same way twice in one game. Look out.
He gets plunked. That'll load the bases. And he is angry. And out comes Steve Donahue and Joe Girardi.
Yeah, when you've already had some time on the disabled list, you don't want to spend any more because somebody plunks you with a pitch. Looks like somewhere in the right arm, maybe in the forearm there. The good news is he's walking towards first base like he wants to stay in the game, and he'll be all right. You know, he's grimacing a bit. See where this pitch ends up. Wow, looked like he grazed his uniform and then hit him in the arm. But he's down at first, and the Yankees have the bases loaded.
Yankees have another opportunity. They left 2 runners on base in the second. Now they have the bases loaded with 1 out here in the third. They're trailing 1-0. James Hoy had to go out and break up the conference on the pitcher's mound. Yankee fans with the "Let's Go Yankee" chant. Oriole fans trying to boo them down. Pitch outside to Gregorius. And it makes sense the Yankee fans are here, because if you drove here to come see this game, you probably waited the rain delay out. Oriole fans might have headed home.
No, well, exactly, or didn't come to begin with.
Right.
Yeah.
The 1-0. Rip foul.
Didi has been one of the best road hitters in the league all season long.
1-1. Line drive, a base hit to right field. Romine scores. Here comes Judge. Here's the throw. Here's the play. Judge is in there. Yankees lead 2-1.
Well, Michael mentioned that Castro's done well against Baltimore. Didi's done well against him. So has Judge. Breaking ball, lined into right field for a base hit. And I'll tell you what, for a big man, Judge was picking him up and laying him down. Scoring from second base. Joe Espada's going to wave him home. Here comes the throw. Looks like Judge started to slide about halfway down the line, and he's in there with the second run. Didi comes through with a bases loaded hit that puts the Yankees in the lead. Hellick's been flirting with danger with the base on balls, falling behind hitters, and Didi makes him pay.
And that single brings out Roger McDowell for a conference on the mound. The pitching coach done and heads back to the dugout. So Hellickson has given back the lead. It's now 2-1 Yankees. A 2-run single for Gregorius. Now has 66 ribbies on the season. A big hit for him. And Richard Blyer, former Yankee, warming up for the Orioles. 10 pitchers in their bullpen, 3 lefties and 7 righties. Here's Holliday.
Holliday has not seen a strike tonight. He walked on 4 pitches his first time up.
Two 2-0 on Holliday. Seven pitches out of the zone. He has not seen a strike yet. 3-0.
You let him go? The first time I thought he just took all the way.
I would let him go.
I would let him go in this situation. The Yankees already have the lead. Maybe get them on down the middle, and you have a bigger lead.
Rio. Ball 4. Bases are reloaded. Well, Showalter has seen enough. With Bird coming up, he's going to call on the left-handed Blyer. Hellickson's night is over. Stadium on Sunday afternoon, September 17th, for one of the best promotions of the season. The first 10,000 guests 14 and younger in attendance will receive a 1977 World Series Championship fan ring, courtesy of Betteridge Jewelers. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com. Visit the Yankee Stadium ticket windows, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. So Blyer comes on to face Bird with the bases loaded. Here's a stat that tells you how good PD's been this year, Kenny. 5 for 10 with 14 ribbies with the bases loaded this year.
It's coming through in the clutch. Good numbers for Blyer with a 2.03 ERA. Just one hit less than innings pitched. There's Didi Gregorius, who's put the Yankees in the lead this inning. Yankees threatening for more. Blyer, the former Yankee, signed by the Orioles as a minor league free agent.
Pitch outside to Bird, 1-0.
There's nobody else warming up for Baltimore, so it's not going to be a match situation with a right-handed hitter coming up next.
One and two.
Let's take a look at that foul ball. We got Bird in trouble earlier this year, and late in spring training, I think it was the next to the last game of spring training, fouled the ball off his ankle, and well, only until the recent surgery did he feel okay.
Did he go? No, he did not. 2-2 on Bird.
We get another look. Well, that was close, but he got the call. That's Will Little.
Grounded foul.
And Blyer did a pretty good job for the Yankees last year. He 23 games, worked to a 1.96 ERA. He had no decisions.
Two. High fly ball. Tagging Castro. And Jones drops the ball. Jones drops the ball. A run will score. Runner moves to second. That's Holiday. And Bird reaches on the E8. And the Yankees lead 3-1.
Wow. I think Jones was trying to make the quick transfer to try and have a play at the plate. It drops the baseball. It hits the thumb and then falls away. Thumb of the glove and then falls away. Matt Holliday had to really scramble to make it to second base. It looks as though his glove kind of blocked the side of the ball coming into the glove. His glove is just in front of his face, and the ball didn't go into the glove.
Bird picks up a ribby on the sac fly, and then he reaches on the E8. Base is still loaded. And the count 0-1 on Todd Frazier. Yankees lead 3-1. Oh, 2. And the 0-2. Fouled away. Soft ground ball. Beckham fields. He has one play, and he makes it at first. Another run scores, and the Yankees lead 4-1. And Frazier seems to think that he might have been safe at first.
The Yankees are thinking about challenging here. Either going to be hitting an RBI or a ground out an RBI. We'll take a look. He's clearly out at first base, but he does pick up a run batted in.
And now runners at second and third with 2 outs for Ellsbury, the 9th batter to come to the plate.
For Adam Jones, by the way, that was his 3rd error of the season.
Strike. Little keeps leaning around the Yankees runner at third to signal to James Hoy whether it's a strike or a check. Go to the 11th inning at Fenway, and the Blue Jays and the Red Sox still tied at 2. Grounded up the middle and through for a base hit. Holiday scores. Here comes Bird. He'll score. It's a 2-run single for Ellsbury, and it's a 6-1 Yankee lead.
Yeah, I said that Ellsbury been getting some big hits lately. A 2-out single will score 2 more runs. Right on by Beckham and into center field for the hit. Of course, the hitters with 2 outs are off with the crack of the bat. No play at the plate as Bird crosses, and the Yankees have batted around with a flair this inning. 6 runs here in the 3rd inning.
Here's Romine. He started it with a single through the left side of the infield. Strike from Blyer. Ellsbury last 10 games has been on fire. 12 for 28, 4 extra base hits. Now 9 runs batted in. That's a .429 clip in 10 games. Oh, 2.
The Yankees have scored 6 runs on 3 hits this inning. A hit batter, an error, and a walk.
2 walks.
Yeah, make that 2. A couple of them.
Yacobonis now up. The 0-2. That one gets past Castillo as Romine somehow got out of the way, and moving to second on the wild pitch is Ellsbury.
Not much of a chance for Castillo here. Anytime the ball gets in around a hitter's feet at the plate, it makes it that much more difficult for a catcher to come up with it. And that one goes all the way back to the backstop.
Another runner in scoring position. The 1-2. 2-2. Runner goes to third. Fly ball into center field. Jones makes the play, and that will do it. But the Yankees get 6 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, and 1 man left. 6-1 Yanks.
With Morakovitz, and it's time for tonight's injury report, brought to you by Montefiore, doing more in state-of-the-art healthcare. Clint Frazier is expected to start his rehab assignment tomorrow. Joe Girardi saying he thinks he will be back sooner rather than later. Also, as expected, Tyler Austin was added to the roster today, so that gives the Yankees another option in the outfield should they need it. So with Frazier back eventually gives Joe Girardi even more as long as he gets through that rehab assignment with no issues with that oblique.
Thank you, Meredith. We go to the bottom of the third inning. It's 6-1 Yankees over the Orioles. Second game of this three-game set. So they've given CC a 5-run lead. And Manny Machado will lead off. 2, 3, and 4 in the Orioles order against the Yankees veteran left-hander. 1-0. There's a strike.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday, how walks can fuel rallies. As Michael said, 2 walks last inning. You toss in an error that helps things along and a hit batter. And then each hit drove in runs.
High fly ball, deep left center, going back. Ellsbury turning, looking. See ya. Home run for Machado. Yankees lead 6-2.
Machado, who is American League Player of the Month for August. That is number 31. Right there for the picking. And Ellsbury is going to run out of real estate in deep left center field.
Here's Jonathan Scope. Foul back. Scope walked in, scored the Orioles' first run. That was in the first inning. Foul back, 0-2.
And we mentioned Scope's becoming one of the premier second basemen in the league. He's up there in extra base hits. Buck Showalter earlier this year moved him into the third spot in the lineup, and he has responded.
Just missed with the breaking ball. Lined right at Didi Gregorius, 1 away.
Sort of a humpback liner. You can hear that it wasn't really scorched. Now, one thing that CC has done, I heard David Cohn mention this on an earlier telecast just recently, that CC leads the league in soft contact. Now, you can't convince Manny Machado of that, but maybe you could convince Scope of that.
Here's Adam Jones. He had that error in the top of the inning. Dropped the fly ball off the bat of Bird. One and 0. Two and 0. Grounded to third. Todd Frazier there. Gets Jones for the second out.
Here's CC on the stroll, getting the flip from Frazier after the second out.
They were so close, I thought it was going to be a difficult flip, but instead Frazier flipped it high.
You know what CC does? He walks halfway. He makes it so the third baseman doesn't have to, really. It's not a long flip.
Oh, 0-1.
This is what Michael's talking about. He come, yeah.
Very close.
Little fifth. Yeah, this is tougher than it looks.
I wonder what CC would do.
Yeah.
If, like, in the throes of a big moment, they whip it around the infield and the third baseman just fires it at him.
I think Frazier's learned that since he's been here.
Right.
That doesn't work with CC. I mean, he's going to barehanded. I think that's just part of the way he's pitched.
But like if somebody brain cramped and just did it, I wonder if he'd let it go. I think he'd let it go rather than catch it with the glove.
I think he would let it go too.
One and two on Mancini.
Now, years ago, there was a pitcher here, Mike Cuellar, very successful pitcher with the Orioles. Very superstitious. When he went out to the mound to begin an inning, he would not let a fielder flip him the ball. He would always have to pick it up off the ground. So if somebody flipped him the ball to start the inning, he would let it drop and then pick it up.
Ground ball to Didi across the diamond. A nice stretch by Bird and a nice rebound from the leadoff home run by Machado. But the Orioles get that run back. We go to the fourth inning. It's 6-2 Yankees. It's time for the Unlimited Baseball Break, brought to you by T-Mobile. Big night against the Dodgers last night for the Diamondbacks. J.D. Martinez traded to the Diamondbacks from the Tigers. 4 home runs, 18th player in Major League history to do it. Second this year, Scooter Gennett the other. Robbie Ray, a career-high 14 strikeouts for the D-backs. Third pitcher in team history with 14 or more strikeouts in a game. You might say, well, who were the first two? Schilling and Randy Johnson. And there's your baseball break. Brett Gardner leads out the fourth inning against Richard Blyer. He came on in relief of the starter Jeremy Hellickson.
By the way, all 4 of those home runs that J.D. Martinez hit, all over 400 feet. So none of them were cheap.
Audi scoreboard, 6-2 Yankees lead. Now Martinez is going to be a free agent at the end of the year. Grounded to first. Davis is there. Steps on the bag, and a fan actually started a GoFundMe page to get the money to the Diamondbacks to sign him. Here are those home runs.
That was that's 400. Well, now right center. 4th inning, 7th inning, 8th, and the 9th to close that. There you go.
Well, Showalter thought that Richard Bleier gave up those home runs because he just took him out of the game as we were watching that. So the Orioles manager goes to the bullpen again with 1 out, nobody on. Yankees up 6-2. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by City MD. When you need a doctor, just walk into City MD Urgent Care. And by People's United Wealth Management, ready to help you set tomorrow in motion. Jimmy Yacobonis takes over on the mound for the Orioles to face Aaron Judge.
The rookie right-hander who made his major league debut recently. This is his 7th appearance. He's picked up 2 wins already. Those are twice as many walks as strikeouts.
Slice foul into the seats. They go to the 12th inning at Fenway, 2-2. Blue Jays and the Red Sox. Two and one.
Yacobonis, born in Elizabeth, New Jersey, and now lives in Mattawan. 13th round, 2013.
2-2.
Sort of a herky-jerky delivery, usually reserved for left-handers, but arms and legs moving, and all of a sudden you got to find yourself a baseball somewhere out there.
Two. Did he go? No, he did not. 3-2.
Just a little low. Tried to get the appeal, it was denied.
Three-two. Up, base hit. Just past the glove of Yacobonis, so a single for Judge.
Well, certainly wasn't scorched, but you'll take it. See that fastball running in, and it got just below the label, but Judge is strong enough. It gets it in there for a base hit as the shift was on for the Orioles.
Here's Castro, who was hit by a pitch. in the third inning. Struck out in the first, 0 for 1. And a strike. Oh, and 2. And the pitch. Good fastball by Yacobonis.
.96 miles an hour. That's kind of standard these days out of the bullpen.
Looped into right field and dunks in for a base hit. So a single for Castro. Judge moves to second.
Well, back-to-back hits, neither one of them scorched, but they show up in the stats. Yacobonis gets in on Castro, but Scope just beyond his reach and in front of Rickard in right field. And the Yankees are threatening again.
Here's Gregorius, a walk and a 2-run single. Part of the ebb and flow of the season. He had the home run yesterday, but coming into this game, 2 for his last 24. But everybody on the Yankees gave him credit with that home run. They said it woke the team up. They were kind of going through the motions and didn't have much life in them. And then the home run kind of woke everybody up.
I think it had something to do with the 3 a.m. arrival.
Might have.
Yeah.
Oh, and 2. The 0-2. Missed outside. 1 and 2 on Gregorius.
Now you saw the stats here. Didi, 20 home runs and 66 runs batted in. Now the thing about that is he missed a month, and last year he did hit 20, but he only drove in 70. So he's been more productive this year in the RBI totals. He should get by 70.
High pop-up. Scope. Infield fly rule called, and Scope makes the play.
Infield fly rule means the batter, in this case Gregorius, automatically out. It keeps the infielders from letting the ball drop and starting a double or triple play. They call it at the first and second or first, second, and third in less than 2 outs.
Here's Holiday. He's yet to see a strike tonight. He has walked twice.
I don't know when that rule was instituted, but I know that yeah, it goes back to 1895, because infielders would just, back in those days, let the ball drop and then start throwing it around. Everybody was out.
Matt Holiday called time there and was not granted time. Now he's asking James Hoy why not, and it was called a strike.
Holiday not feeling comfortable.
count 0-2. Chop to first. Tough play. Davis takes it on the short hop for the final out. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 men left on base. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 6-2 Yankees. MLB.tv every night on every device. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live. Plus, get a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. You might be watching that right now. Pitch to Trumbo is a strike. Audi scoreboard, 6-2 Yankees lead. Trumbo, Davis, and Castillo against Sabathia. Grounded up the middle, right there is Castro. You know, when all the shifts started, Kenny, a lot of pitchers didn't like it. I wonder if they like it now when the player is right there where the ball's hit.
I would hope so. I mean, the whole thing is to get people out. Pitching to the shift, you got to pitch to it too. You got to make your pitches so they'll hit the ball in that area. You know, every once in a while somebody will send it the other way, get jammed. We saw that last inning with Judge. But if he hit the ball where he's supposed to pull it like he did the first time. Look out, up and in.
1-0 to Davis. They go to the bottom of the 12th inning at Fenway, 2-2. Blue Jays and the Red Sox. Yankees down 2 in the loss column to the Red Sox in the American League East. Along with Ken Singleton and Meredith Marakovitz, I'm Michael Kay. We thank you for joining us on this Tuesday evening. A long rain delay, but you're still with us, and thanks a lot. Now, we've mentioned the Red Sox score a lot today, and there's a big story in the New York Times that the Red Sox had been illegally using an Apple Watch against the Yankees in relaying signs from the catcher. Now Major League Baseball is investigating that, and also investigating a charge that the Red Sox countercharged today that the Yankees were using cameras from the Yes Network to steal signs for them. And Joe Girardi said there's no chance of that happening. And I will tell you, there's no chance that that's happened. As Davis down on strike. So this is a developing story. A lot of people have been talking about it. They'll be writing about it tomorrow. The New York Times broke it. And Brett Gardner said, listen, sign stealing is part of the game, but when it involves electronics like that, it's going over the line.
Yeah, you know, a lot of teams have iPads in their dugouts that have statistics.
Right.
But when you start showing catching the signs from catchers and relaying it to the hitters, you know, they've done that before, and illegally or legally on the field. But electronics, we've come a long way with electronics. And I guess they develop a system where they could quickly get the information to the hitters.
And the Yankees noticed 3 separate instances when the Yankees were at Fenway Park, where the assistant athletic trainer wearing an eye watch then spoke to players. Dustin Pedroia was one when he was on the DL, and then Pedroia relayed it to another player. So we'll see what Major League Baseball does.
You know, fans might be saying, well, how can a hitter get that sign?
Base hit against the shift by Castillo, a 2-out single.
Now, if the hitters are aware of one voice on the bench, and you listen for that one voice, and that one voice calls your name or says, come on, let's go, that could give you an indication that it's going to be a certain pitch. And I'll tell you, the way it used to work for me, we didn't have apples back in those days, but Larry Doby was the first base coach with the Expos, and he said, when I was up, if I call your name, that means the catcher shifted inside. Look for something inside. He said, I can't do it very often because they'll catch on. And then something, you know, you could get hurt. They'll throw at you. But he said every once in a while with men on base, he would try it.
Did you like that information? Because Bobby Mercer told me he didn't like it.
I did like it because I you know, if it's going to be inside, I'm looking to pull the ball.
Right. Rickard takes a strike, 1-1.
Yeah, back in those days, the only apples you could get were at the grocery store.
One, 1-2. Grounded foul.
But in a way, Michael, couldn't you see this coming? You understand what I mean?
With all electronics.
Exactly.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on first. Yankees lead 6-2, bottom of the 4th inning. Foul back to the screen, still 2-2. If you just turned in, this is not a Yankee encore. There was a 2-hour and 15-minute rain delay at the start of the game. And I'd say we started about 9:17. No, 9:19 was the official start time. And here we are in the bottom of the 4th inning. Three and 2. Watching it on.
It's amazing.
On the app.
Watching a Red Sox Blue Jay game. I think back when I was a kid, the West Coast games, you had to wait till the late afternoon editions of the newspapers to find out what happened. You might hear it on the radio, but you want to see the box scores. You want to see what your favorite players have done.
I'll tell you what, Ken, if you're a baseball fan, the MLB app is just, it's one of the best sports apps, if not the best sports app out there.
It's unbelievable. You know, I've had it for a number of years now, and you can watch any game.
Swing and a miss. Rickard down on strikes. No runs a hit, no errors, and one man left on base. We go to the 5th inning. Yankees lead this one by 4, 6-2. And the Yankees lead this one 6-2. Those are the East standings right now. Yankees trail the Red Sox by 2.5, and the Orioles are 7 back of Boston. Rays 8 and the Blue Jays 13. Greg Bird will lead off against Jimmy Yacobonis. Count 1-0. GMC scoreboard. Each team with 5 hits. Yankees though lead 6-2.
That was a changeup from Yacobonis. You can see why Orioles originally signed him with this very strong arm.
That one is ripped into right center field. It's a base hit. Rickard Fields will get the ball in, and a single for Bird. And we go back to Bob Lorenz, who has more to say. Be interesting to see how he does with the Astros. He's an outstanding pitcher who pitches better in the second half of the year of the last couple of seasons. Here's Todd Frazier. Pitch inside, 1-0.
Yeah, it's a pretty good 1-2-3 punch with he, Keuchel, and McCullers. They could match up in any playoff series. I think that's the reason why Houston got him. They're really going for it this year. It would mean a lot to that city if they could pull off a World Series victory, something they've never done before.
But they need the Keuchel. That's an outstanding pitcher. He has struggled a lot. And McCullers is coming up the DL. He struggled.
Yeah, and they need him healthy. He's had some issues over the years, but a fine young pitcher. And you know what? I think you going back to the trade deadline, weren't some of the Astros upset? I think Keuchel said something because they didn't do anything. Well, now they've done something.
And you wonder if Keuchel's words, which were harsh, might have spurred them on, but they knew that any big-time pitcher who's going to be paid a lot of money was going to be able to get through waivers. So July 31st was just an artificial deadline.
Yeah. There's a lot of teams hesitant to take on Verlander's salary. Tigers paid some of it, but not all of it.
Grounded to third. Machado goes to second, one on to first. It's a double play.
Now the ball's hit hard to Machado, and he's got a strong arm. But once this ball gets the scope, he's as good as any second baseman in the league at turning it over to first. Very strong arm, and they made it look easy. Hard hit ball, 5, 4, 3 around the horn, double play.
There's Ellsbury, big 2-run single in the third inning.
Ellsbury's hit was a big one because it came with 2 outs.
One and one. Two and one.
And the Yankee fans are chanting, and the Oriole fans are going right back at him here. Yankee fans trying to get the chant in with 2 outs and nobody on. That's confidence.
3-1, and he walks. And that brings up Romine. Romine 1 for 2 in the third inning. Started that inning off with a single to left. Yankees scored their 6 runs and then ended the inning with a fly ball to center. Romine takes a strike from Yacobonis. Gabriel Inoa. I saw him yesterday. He's warming. Tapped it softly, right side. And they get the out at first on the 3-1 as he tosses it to Yacobonis. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We go to the bottom of the 5th. We're halfway through. 6-2 Yanks.
But we can promise you this. Next Wednesday, catch the play-by-play of a new Center Stage with Michael Kay, featuring the legendary radio voice of the Yankees. That's John Sterling. Hear about his incredible streak behind the mic. That's next Wednesday at 11. Only on Yes. That should be a very entertaining evening.
It was good. He did a great job. Crowd loved him. It was fun. I think people will enjoy it.
Well, that's baseball, Susan.
He has, since taking the Yankee job, so this, he's been doing this 3 years. All right, this is his 29th year. Has never missed a game for health-related reasons. Had food poisoning, worked right through it, a doubleheader. 2-0. On one hop to Castro. He gets Beckham. One away. GMC scoreboard 6-2 Yankees Orioles.
Here's an example of the soft contact we were talking about. The ball got in on the hands. And let me ask you this. You worked with John, you told me 10 years?
10 years.
Did you ever upset him?
I think I probably did. Yeah.
Now, we've been together how many years?
16.
You've never upset me.
And you never upset me. We all get along here.
Yeah, we do. Rocky, everybody.
Well, Meredith sometimes gets annoying. Kidding. Meredith, just kidding, really.
Michael, I know it's late, but no need to throw stones over here. I'm right to your right.
I didn't see you there. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm in between you two. Should I move away so you can get...
All love. 1-0. Pitch outside. 2-0 on Machado.
I think it's showing we don't like rain delays.
Yankees lead 6-2. Machado with a home run his last time up. He's 1 for 2. His 31st homer of the year. There's a strike. Bottom of the 13th at Fenway, still 2-2. Fly ball, center field, coming on is Ellsbury, and he'll put it away for the second out.
CC wanted a new ball.
Now, he'll take the new ball on a throw from Romine. He just won't take the throw from the third baseman.
Not from the third baseman, yeah. But that's a little too far.
There's Jonathan Scope. Walked and scored, and humpback line drive. That's a long drive. Left center. Gardner back. Looking up. See ya. A long home run for Scope. The Yankees lead 6-3.
Well, Scope and Manny Machado have a race going here. Machado earlier hit his 31st. Scope comes right back with his 31st. They are tied for the team lead. Yeah, both of them having outstanding years. Scope knew it. He's hit enough of them. And Gardner's the last one to get a look at it.
Seems like the Yankees are winning this in a blowout, but 6-3 in the bottom of the 5th inning is far from over. And you have CeCe about to deliver his 85th pitch, so you know the bullpen's going to get involved. 2-0. Ground ball to second. Castro is there, and he'll get Jones, and that will do it. But the Orioles get back another run on the home run by Scope. It's an official game now with more rain in the forecast. That's important. 6-3 Yankees lead. Is only 1 month away, and your Nets on Yes team will be back to bring you all the Brooklyn action, including new point guard D'Angelo Russell's debut at Barclays Center. Don't miss the excitement of the Nets on Yes returning Sunday, October 8th, with the Nets preseason game against their crosstown rival Knicks, only on Yes. New pitcher for the Orioles as the Yankees lead 6-3. Ubaldo Jimenez will take over, and then he will face the top of the Yankee order. Starting with Brett Gardner, fourth pitcher used by Buck Showalter.
Well, the Yankees have a bird, and the Nets have a bird as well. An eagle.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, the Yankees bird is trying to establish his greatness.
Oh, I see.
The Nets bird
yeah.
is just great. He has achieved it. He revels in it, soaks it in. There's a strike to Gardner. Gardner's 0 for 3 tonight. Foul back and out of play.
Menace on the mound. Been primarily a starter, but he's rolling around with an ERA of 6.85. He's given up 151 hits in 128 2/3 innings. And he's walked 55, so that's why he's been relegated to the bullpen. A few years back, the Orioles signed him to a big contract. Look out, it's inside. And he's had flashes of greatness, but more often than not, he hasn't pitched all that well.
Swing and a miss. Gardner down on strikes.
And Menace, one of his best pitches is a split finger fastball, and here it is. Watch tumbling effect straight. That was a good one. And that kind of reminded you of Tanaka. There it is on Yesmo, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. Good block by Castillo, applies the tag for the out. One thing about Jimenez, so you can see by his delivery how he drops his right arm behind him it makes it difficult for him to repeat his motion, and that sometimes affects his control. Got an unusual delivery.
The 1-1. 1-2 on Judge. The announced attendance 14,377 here at Camden Yards. High drive, left field. Going back, Mancini. He's there to make the play for the second out.
That was in on the hands a bit. Yep, you see, Jimenez missed the target, but Judge didn't square it up.
So here's Castro. Struck out, hit by a pitch, scored a run, and singled. Top of the 14th now at Fenway Park, 2-2. Blue Jays and the Red Sox. Two and 0.
Castro might come out of his shoes if this 2-0 pitch is near the middle of the plate.
Three and 0.
Not really.
If you listen, you can hear people asking for the baseball when it's taken out of play. (6-3) Yankees lead. We're in the 6th. Jimenez deals. Turned him loose on 3-0. Beckham backhands, fires, and it gets past Davis. And Castro will reach. That's a base hit.
Yeah, I think it would be. That was a tough play. On the backhand and in the hole. And now the long throw. And it was too far in front of Davis for him to make the successful scoop. And Castro has another multi-hit game.
Didn't it seem odd, Kenny, that Beckham took a long time to collect himself? Yeah. I mean, that's that play that, you know, let's just say Jeter would do the jump play. You got to get rid of the ball as quickly as possible. Yeah. And he's setting, and all the while Castro's getting down the line.
Yeah, he's relying on his strong arm to make the play, but the throw was not accurate. And that's been one of the problems, the inaccuracy of his throws.
Gregorius is robbed of a hit by the diving Mancini for the final out of the 6th. No runs a hit, no errors, and one man left on base. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Yankees lead by 3.
Their clash here at Camden Yards with one final showdown against the O's. Coverage begins at 6 with the Alley batting practice today and the Chevy Yankees pregame. And we'll call the action of the series finale right here on Yes and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Speaking of go, CC's ready here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And Trey Mancini takes a pitch low and inside for ball 1. There's somebody, a happy fan. A couple of Yankee fans. It's worth a kiss. Come to the ballpark, get a baseball. Mancini's 1 for 2. He's singled, he grounded to short. And he hits a little looper over the head of Frazier. He's going to drop into left field for a base hit. Gregorius picks it up and holds Mancini to a leadoff single here in the 6th inning. Yankees leading by a score of 6-3. Well, Frazier trying to get back as quickly as possible, but the ball falls into the soft spot in the zone over his outreached glove. And there's one on, nobody out. They're in the 6th with Trumbo coming to the plate.
So Mancini at first. Trumbo's 0 for 2. Fly ball to center and a ground ball to second. And there's a strike. Tommy Kahnle is up. The leash this year on CC is much longer than it has been in the past couple seasons, when Joe would really start to worry when he got to 75 pitches. But CC's just a different pitcher. He's just a much better pitcher this season, and I think he's gained or regained the trust of Girardi going deeper into games. Kind of a wave at that pitch, 2-2. Since May 16th, CC has the 2nd lowest ERA in the American League behind Corey Kluber and just ahead of his teammate, Luis Severino. Tomahawk that foul into the seats. Speaking of Severino, if you have access to the Players Tribune, wow, he really went up to get that. He wrote a really nice story about becoming a Yankee, what it means to be a Yankee, and it's in his words. Luis Severino, if you have a chance, you should read it. Very well done. Driven deep to left field. Gardner on the run, on the track, at the wall. See ya! It is now a 1-run game. Yankees lead 6-5.
Hitter friendly. Trumbo with number 22. This is what Baltimore, they hit home runs. That's 3 of them tonight.
So just like that, back in this game via the home run.
After a weak swing, and well, that wasn't weak. Looked like a little cutter in, and Trumbo hips open, got the barrel of the bat to the ball, and just over the wall, maybe the 2nd row.
Davis grounds one to first. Bird Fields touches up, 1 away here in the bottom of the 6th inning, and that is going to do it for Sabathia. So 94 pitches, and Sabathia will turn it over to the bullpen. Yankees lead this one 6-5. But the home runs have certainly got the Orioles back in it. It's now 6-5, bottom of the 6th inning, and Tommy Kahnle out of the bullpen on in relief of Sabathia. 83 strikeouts in 53 and 2/3 innings. 46 hits and 13 walks. And Kahnle sports a 2.85 ERA. Those numbers are with both the White Sox and the Yankees. Sabathia went 5 1/3. 8 hits, 5 runs, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. He threw 94 pitches.
That's up to the bullpen to hold the lead. Sabathia would get his 12th win of the year. He did not have a 1-2-3 inning in tonight's game, so it wasn't as clean as some of his recent outings, but still leaves with the lead.
And here's Castillo. And the pitch from Kahnle is a strike. Started him off with a slider. Castillo was 1 for 2 against Sabathia. That was 98 miles an hour. The fast pitch speed analytics brought to you by Fios.
Yeah, I was going to mention it. Kahnle, of course, like just about every reliever out there in the Yankee bullpen, a plus fastball.
Foul back 98, 1-2. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him. On a slider, 2 away.
That is a changeup. You can see how
91 changeup. Wow. Wow.
There are people who would take that as their fastball. 91 change. With a bit of a tumbling effect. You can see how he lets it kind of roll off his last 3 fingers as he throws it to the plate.
There's Joey Rickard. Fouls it back. Oh, and 2. Darren O'Day is up. Pitch. Fouled away and out of play. Seven pitches, 6 strikes for Kahnle. And the pitch. The whole Yankee team headed toward the third base dugout on that. As if it was a ship listing that way.
This is the changeup. For some reason, not called a strike. Even Romine started for the dugout. What do you think, folks?
You do not doubt pitch cast. 2-0 2-2. Work the count, 3-2. And the payoff. 100 miles an hour, but upstairs, so Rickard works a walk.
Now Rickard is worth watching at first base. He has stolen 7 out of 8 this year. The Orioles are not a big stolen base team. They live by the long ball, but certain guys on their team can run, and he's one of them.
So back to the top of the order, and Tim Beckham 0 for 3 tonight. Foul back. Beckham grounded to second. Tip one off the glove of Sabathia to second for a force in the second, and then grounded to second again. So 3 times Castro has been involved. He was leaning, but Canely did make a hard throw to first base.
And Baltimore has they're last in the league in steals with 29. This is a home run friendly park. They have a home run hitting team. But sometimes 90 feet can be very valuable. And this is one of those situations.
They go to the 15th at Fenway Park, tied at 2. Which game will end first? Great time of the baseball season where you look at the scoreboard, those games mean a lot when you're trying to catch up or when you're trying to hold somebody off. One and two.
I think I mentioned it yesterday. This is my favorite time of the year to play. You know, you're watching the scoreboard, you're trying to win your own game.
Tampa Bay beat Minnesota 2-1. Tough loss for the Twins. Kansas City lost 13-2 to the Tigers. And the Angels lead the A's 3-1 top of the 5th inning. And Houston and Seattle 1-1 in the top of the 5th as well. One-two. And Cleveland over the White Sox 9-4, bottom of the 9th. Will the Indians ever lose again? Now this is up to the minute wild card with the scores that I just gave you. So the Yankees have the first wild card. The Twins and the Angels are tied. The Orioles are 1 back. Rangers a game and a half. Mariners 2, Rays 2, and the Royals 2.5. Plenty of baseball to go here in September. Two. Grounded foul.
Yeah, you look at those standings, it's about as tight as a new pair of shoes. And they're just all these teams involved.
Two. Beckham really battling. Canely on in relief of Sabathia, who was allowed 2 runs in this inning. A 2-run home run by Mark Trumbo. Came back to get Chris Davis on a grounder to first, and they bring in Canely. He strikes out Castillo, walks Rickard, and now a 2-2 count with 2 outs and Beckham at the plate. And 2. So that will release the runner at first. Runner goes, 3-2. Fly ball down the right field line. Judge into the corner. And looks like he has the ball. He disappeared from our view, and he made the play in the corner. So there's a better angle of how he made that catch. Right in front of the utility door, and hits into the padding for the final out of the inning. So he went a long way to get that for the final out. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left. Let's go to the 7th. On the Cadillac scoreboard, Yankees lead 6-5. Battle of the bullpens now as Buck Showalter will go to Darren O'Day, his side-winding right-hander out of the pen. And O'Day will face Holiday, Bird, and Frazier.
O'Day has had some injury issues this year that he's had to deal with. Had a right shoulder strain back in June.
Holiday is 0 for 1 with 2 walks tonight. 1-1.
You can see O'Day and the way he delivers. Of course, Yankee fans are familiar with him. He's been with the Orioles for the last few years and been a staple out of the bullpen.
Grounded foul outside of third. 1-2.
And you can see why right-handed hitters might have trouble dealing with Darren O'Day.
Yankees scored all 6 of their runs in the third inning, knocking out Hellickson, getting some hits against Blyer. Just 2 hits, a couple of walks, hit batter, and it all turned into 6 runs. Also an important E8, a drop of a fly ball by Adam Jones as he was setting up the throw on what would have been a sac fly off the bat of Bird. So 6 runs, and so far it's held up.
Here's a look at the motion we were talking about, and drops down and back up. Delivery, man. Somehow a right-handed hitter has to find a baseball and try and hit it. A little easier to see for the lefties.
Hear the oohs and ahs from the crowd as it just missed the outside corner.
Yeah, those are the amateur umpires. There's usually a few thousand of them in the stands during the course of games.
And some in the dugout.
Yeah.
2-2. Checks his swing, and Sean Barber agrees. So the count 3-2 on Holiday leading off here in the 7th. 6-7-0, leading 5-8-1. Holiday battling.
And I'd like to see the Yankees reboot the offense here after their outburst in the third. They've only been set down 1-2-3 in 1 inning, and that was the first. So they've had some opportunities in this game.
Strike 3, Holiday down looking.
O'Day had missed with some close ones. This time he got the call. Yep, that was there. Castillo did not move the glove at all. Ball hits the glove. He could caught that one blindfolded. Right on the corner at the knees. Late breaking slider.
Bird fouls it back. Ground ball to second. Scope is there. And gets Bird for the second out.
You know, when you're a left-handed hitter, you face somebody like O'Day. He's not overpowering. You get up on the plate, maybe a couple of inches, and you look to pull the ball. As David Robertson gets up in the Yankee bullpen, he Pitched here yesterday.
Coming up on the witching hour. Game started at 9:19. And there's a strike to Todd Frazier.
This is like a West Coast presentation on the East Coast.
That's right. Without the palm trees.
Or the fish market in Seattle.
The 0-1. 0-2. And the pitch. 1-2 on Frazier. Oriole runs. RBI single, infield single by Mancini in the first. Solo home run by Machado in the third. Solo home run by Scope in the fifth. Two-run home run by Trumbo in the sixth. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strong inning for O'Day as he gets the Yankees in order. 1-2-3. Time for the seventh inning stretch here in Baltimore. Yankees lead this one 6-5. Here in Baltimore, brought to you by your local Nissan dealer. 6-7-0 Yanks, leading 5-8-1 for the O's. Sabathia lasted one out into the sixth inning. Jeremy Hellickson lasted one out into the third. Gregorius and Ellsbury each with two-run singles. Mark Trumbo a two-run home run for Baltimore. That has to be a relative of Bob Uecker because he's in the front row. He can move anywhere in this ballpark right now. He's staying true to his ticket and staying up there in the upper deck out in left field.
I'll tell you what, it's going to be hard to get a vendor to go all the way up there.
Here's David Robertson.
Robertson worked here yesterday, kind of pitched his way into trouble walking the first two batters, but then he got 3 outs. A couple of strikeouts and a ground out to get out of it.
Tough part of the order, starting with Manny Machado. 1 for 3, the one a home run. And that got a big piece of Romine, and even Machado asked if he's okay.
Kind of knocked him backwards. Almost took the mask off Romine's face, but he's okay. Reaching for a ball. There's the powerful Machado swing. Of course, Robertson with a little cutter. He's got a tremendous curveball, fastball, some low to mid 90s. And look at the Cadillac scoreboard. It's 6-5 Yankees.
1-2. Scope on deck. Swing and a miss. Machado down on strikes. Good breaking ball by Robertson. And we go back to Bob Lorenz for an update. An amazing story, and they have him signed for a long time at a very inexpensive number. So that's a star in Cleveland. Here's Jonathan Scope. Oh, and 1.
And Machado goes down on one knee. Sharp breaking ball. We talked about it, that he slips, goes down not only swinging, but down to one knee as well. Now, Jose Ramirez of Cleveland, I don't know if you agree, he's going to get some MVP votes.
Yeah.
Having a tremendous year. Remember, one stretch during the year earlier, I think it was in June, he had a stretch of 9 consecutive multi-hit games.
The 1-1. 1-2.
Ball got away. And new ball put in play.
Now the question is, you try to manage the rest of the game. Do they go with Robertson for 2 innings?
I don't think so, because he went 1 yesterday. And
So they'd have to go with Betances for 2, or then involve Chapman.
yeah, I was thinking the same thing as Robertson came in here in the 7th, and I'm looking. I got Chris Davis looming down there near the bottom of the order, and he would come up next inning. And let's get through this one first.
High drive into left center. On the run is Gardner, and he makes the play for the second out.
Scope gave it a ride. Not quite the good wood, and Gardner, of course, with the great speed. He and Ellsbury, not too many balls are going to fall between those two if they have any hang time at all. So Gardner made the catch for out number 2.
Well, they're in the top of the 16th inning at Fenway Park. Still 2-2. Blue Jays and the Red Sox.
Both managers are probably happy there's expanded rosters about right now. More
extra pitchers, yep.
Yeah.
Games like those, they can set you back for a while, though. But with the expanded rosters, a little less so. Adam Jones grounds one to Frazier. So just 10 pitches for David Robertson as he retires the heart of the order in order. Does he come out for the 8th? Well, we go to the 8th. Push for a top playoff spot as the boys in blue clash with Sporting KC at home in the Bronx. Watch the game presented by Etihad Airways starting at 11 p.m. after Yankees coverage on Yes, or you can stream it live at 7:30 on Fox Sports Go. Chapman is up. We'll see if he pitches the entire 8th. And Brad Brock takes over for the O's.
Yeah, Brock had, in the absence of Zach Britton, who'd been on the disabled list with a forearm injury, Zach Britton took over as the closer. And 17 saves and 23 opportunities for him this year. 60 strikeouts and 58 in the 3rd innings. Another pitcher out of the bullpen. Not quite as drastic a delivery as O'Day, but he's sort of a sidewinder as well.
He'll start with Ellsbury. Hyundai scoreboard shows you the Yankees up 6-5 here in the 8th. Ellsbury with a big hit in that 6-run 3rd inning, a 2-run single. Popped the 2nd, also walked. 2-0 on Jacoby. Yankees 8-9-1 in this inning. Ellsbury, Romine, and Gardner against the tall right-hander Brad Brock. Two and one.
The opponent's hitting just 190 against Brock this year.
Three and one. And the pitch. Another base hit for Ellsbury. Jones gets the ball in, leadoff single for Ellsbury, and that allows the Yankees to have Romine bunt.
Or you have Ellsbury try and steal. And remember, we mentioned yesterday Castillo's one of the best at throwing out runners. I think 45%. So the bunt might be a better option here. Or if Ellsbury steals, then you could have Romine bunt.
Romine 1 for 3 tonight. He singled to start off that 6-run third inning. And a bunt caught in the air by Brock, and good base running by Ellsbury, staying at first. They threw to first base because they were saying that he trapped it at the mound, and they just fired to second to get what would have been the force and then a double play.
Well, I think they wanted to make it look like he had trapped it so they could get the double play. But he catches it on the fly. He might have been better off trapping it if he could have and then getting the double play instead. Now he's pretended I trapped it, now I'm going to throw to second and maybe still get a double play out of this. It's not going to win any Academy Awards. Yeah, he caught it. Now I'm going to throw to second, make it look like I trapped it. All the while, Tony Pena was telling Ellsbury to stay at first base.
Beckin is saying, well, what should I do now? We'll throw it to first. And they did, but the first base umpire was on to their ruse and said Ellsbury's safe.
Now the steal comes more into play.
Gardner 0 for 4 tonight. 1-0.
I think the key here with Ellsbury at first, if he's going to attempt to steal, it's you got Castillo who throws well, but it's Brock. How quick does he get rid of the ball? Does he have a high leg kick? The key is the pitcher. The catcher's strong.
Very close at first.
That's a quick move for a right-hander. He almost threw it away. Ellsbury with the dive. Ooh. Wow. That was closer than I thought.
Dribbled slowly at the first baseline. Brock fields and bobbles, and everybody's safe. Might have been better served to let that roll. So a base hit for Gardner.
They had a little dribble, and now the race is on. Not only is Brock going to have to pick it up, he's going to have to make an accurate throw from a difficult angle. Brett Gardner within his rights, running within the 45-foot line, and it didn't look like Brock would have much of an angle to throw him out anyway.
I think that would have rolled foul.
It might have. Poor decision. And as you can see here at Camden Yards too, the grass is very close to the foul line. So once it rolls off the grass, it's going to go foul.
Here's Aaron Judge, first and second, 1 man out. We're in the 8th. Yankees up by 1, 6-5. Fouled away.
You know, some of the foul lines, actually there's a little room of dirt in between, and the ball will fall off the grass and still remain in fair territory. Here it's a little different, and you can see the grass is edged right up near the foul line, and if it hits, it's going to roll off and then roll foul.
And it makes sense for the Orioles to manicure their infield that way. They're not a speed team.
No. There's nobody up there bunting, trying to get on.
Got that fastball by him, 0-2.
Fastball upstairs at 96. You can see with great speed on the bases for the Yankees with Ellsbury at second, Gardner at first. It kind of draws the infielders out of position. Scope is trying to hold Ellsbury close. makes it an even bigger hole on the right side. And Judge has already hit one through there tonight.
The 0-2 fouled away. They go to the 17th inning at Fenway Park, still tied at 2.
And Gardner's at first. His job is to keep an eye on Ellsbury. If Ellsbury goes, he can't be left at the station.
Strike 3, Judge down looking.
Slider drops. Little movement of the glove by Castillo, but I believe this is a strike anyway. Yeah, it was high enough. Call strike 3.
Well, here's one of the Yankees' hottest hitters, Starlin Castro. Give them a little bit more padding as they try to get the last 6 outs of this game. They lead 6-5. Good speed on the bases for the Yanks. Ellsbury at second and Gardner is at first. 2 men out. Another multi-hit game for Castro. He's 2 for 3, hit by a pitch and scored a run. Pitch inside from Brock. High pop-up, left side. Machado in foul territory calls everybody off and makes the play, so Brock works into and out of trouble. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 men left on base. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Inning, 6-5 Yankees lead on the Hyundai scoreboard. And the Yankees will go to Aroldis Chapman. Last time we saw Chapman, he was throwing 105 miles an hour. He has not pitched much of late, and maybe the rest certainly has rejuvenated the once deadly stuff that has not been that effective this year. So we'll see how Chapman pitches here against Mancini, Trumbo, and Davis.
Well, you can see the numbers. There's been more balls put in play against him than in the past. It used to be the swing and a miss. 39 in the third inning. Still the strikeouts are there with 55. But the batting average against is up, and certainly the ERA is up at 4.12.
Well, Sabathia lasted 1 out into the 6th. Tommy Kahnle got the last 2 outs of the 6th. David Robertson pitched the 10-pitch 1-2-3 7th. And now Chapman on to pitch the 8th. First up is Mancini. He is 2 for 3, couple of singles. Had an infield single to short that drove in a run in the first inning against Sabathia. Up the middle. Gregorius makes the play. 1 pitch, 1 out. Chapman will take that. Here's Mark Trumbo, and there's Zach Britton ready to pitch the 9th inning. Trumbo made this game tight with the 2-run home run off Sabathia in the 6th inning.
Trumbo was very quick on a pitch inside for the home run. Yep, set up away. Missed the target, but it was a ball.
That was 102 miles an hour. Count 1-1. One 102, 1-2. Betances getting ready. They might go to him for a 4-out save if Chapman gets into any trouble. One, 2. Grounded to third. Backhanded nicely by Frazier. Sets and fires 2 away.
One thing we've learned about Frazier since he's been with the Yankees, of course, when you're in the White Sox, you didn't get to see him all that often. He could play some third base. On the backhand, 2 parts to every play in the infield. First gathers. Didn't it look like he took a look to see if Rob Manfred's signature? Well, watch him take a look at it. But yeah, that's him. Then throw it across the diamond. That's an official ball, and there's 2 down.
So here's Davis against Chapman. Lefty against lefty. Davis 0 for 3 tonight. 2 strikeouts and a ground ball to first. And ground ball to first was the last play for CeCe as they went to the bullpen after that. So he went a little off speed there, 0-1.
Anytime you see something in the 90s, you figure he just, his mechanics were just a little off. And one thing about Chapman, we've mentioned it, is his delivery and how he just drives straight downhill generates a lot of power. His last pitch, 103.
One 1-2.
Rarefied heat on a rainy night here in Baltimore.
And the 1-2. 2-2. And the pitch. Oh, with the slider upstairs, 3-2.
If that had been a strike, Davis would have had no chance. He was given ground.
Strike 3, 102 on the corner, and Davis down looking. A 1-2-3 inning for Chapman. Will take it to the ninth. Yankees lead this one 6-5. Here in Baltimore for the WB Mason postgame as Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry bring you highlights and a breakdown of all the action, plus get scores from around the league and a look at the updated playoff picture. It's only on Yes. Our guys back in the studio. Great job during the rain delay, so we thank them for that, hanging tough over a long night, and they will be there for the postgame. Zach Britton will come on. He's the 7th Oriole pitcher tonight.
Mentioned earlier that he spent some time on the DL this year.
That one is sliced the other way. Foul ball.
And also he had a knee issue recently. They went for an MRI. They found out everything was structurally okay, and so Britton back on the mound. Might have had as good a season as any closers ever had last year.
There was some thought that he would be dealt at the trade deadline, and when the Orioles didn't, it sent a signal to the rest of the team that they were not giving up on the season. They ended up making a trade. They added people, Hellickson and Beckham. And they still have Britton under their control for another year after this, so I guess they could deal him at that point, and maybe if he's pitching better, they'll even get a bigger return.
Now, last year in his outstanding season, gave up 1 home run. That was to Mookie Betts. He's given up just 1 this year. And that was Matt Olson of Oakland that took him deep. So I think that's it for home runs this year for him. He's got a sinker that is hard to hit into the air. And most balls hit against him are hit on the ground.
Britton was in the center of a controversy when the Orioles season ended last year, where they lost an extra inning wild card game to the Toronto Blue Jays, and Britton was never used as Buck was saving him to get the final 3 outs after they took the lead. And you know, the big question to Buck: how did you lose a game and end your season without using your best pitcher? And that's the route he decided to take. 1-2. Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not.
It was a ball to Jimenez, who was on the mound, and he gave up the home run to Edwin Encarnacion, then of the Blue Jays, and the season was over. Now, Britton had warmed up a couple of times in that game, but he never got into it.
Two. Still 2-2. They go to the bottom of the 7th inning at Fenway.
17th.
Did I say what inning did I say?
7th.
17th.
Just drop a 1 in front of it. You're right.
Okay. And the Blue Jays had runners on 1st and 3rd and couldn't get a run across. So now to the bottom of the 17th.
I was thinking, is there a second game?
They feel like that.
Yeah.
As Gregorius down on strikes.
There's that hard sinker we're talking about. Go over some of Britton's numbers from last year. First of all, he had a streak broken this year. He had 60 consecutive saves going back to last year, and that was broken this year.
You know, Kenny, you're giving those numbers, and you know, very few relievers had a better season than he had in the history of short relief. But the thing that separates Mariano Rivera from those guys, like the Eric Gagnes and the Brittons, those guys could have a season that Mo never had, but every year it was almost like a metronome. He was going to be there. He was going to give you the same stuff every single season, and his body of work, year after year after year, is what separates him from everybody else.
Plus all the postseason numbers, which are unbelievable.
0-2 on Holiday.
Yeah, Britton worked last year to an ERA of 0.54.
Amazing.
He gave up 4 earned runs in 67 innings. And I mentioned the 1 home run. Mookie Betts got him way back in April last year.
The 0-2. 1-2 on Holiday. Greg Bird's on deck. He has 2 hits tonight. Ground ball is short. Beckham gets Holiday for the 2nd out. If you want to look ahead to the bottom of the 9th inning, it'll be Castillo, Joey Rickard, and Beckham. 8, 9, and 1 against that man, Dellin Betances. Bird's 1 for 3 tonight. A sac fly, he reached on an E8, and a run scored. 0-2.
Makes Britton so effective. We mentioned a sinker, but it's also very hard. 95 plus.
Fouled the ball off to stay alive. And the pitch. Still 0-2 on Bird. Top of the 9th inning. The Yankees lead this one 6-5. Swing and a miss. We will go to the bottom of the 9th. The Red Sox and the Blue Jays will go to the 18th, and the Yankees will go to Dellin Betances to try to get the final 3 outs of this long day's journey into tonight. Closer, Dellin Betances, and that'll be the 5th pitcher used by Joe Girardi. Sabathia started, Canely, Robertson, Chapman, and now Betances.
Always impressive strikeout totals. 90 in 52 innings. 135 batting average against. 10 for 12 at save opportunities this year. And he's got to deal with a player hit a home run off him yesterday. He came in when the Yankees were leading 7-3, gave up the solo homer to Castillo, who's going to lead it off. But the Yankees ended up winning 7-4.
So Castillo, Rickard, and Beckham here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Start of the game delayed by about 2 hours and 15 minutes. And the rain has held up since the start as the Yankees try to take their 2nd game against the Orioles and win their 4th straight. Pedro Alvarez comes out on deck to pinch hit for Joey Rickard. Misses with the breaking ball outside, 1-0. That breaking ball clips the outside corner, 1-1. He checks his swing.
3 straight breaking balls to Castillo, leading off here. Still has not seen that fastball yet. The one that he hit yesterday was almost right down the middle.
Three and one. So what does he go with, the breaking ball or the fastball on 3-1? One with the breaking ball and gets a strike, so the count is full at 3-2.
He's only thrown one fastball and he missed with it. It wasn't near the strike zone, so he comes back with a pitch that he has thrown a strike. If that caught the corner, it just caught a hint of it.
Another breaking ball. Still 3-2. Castillo 1 for 3. Coming into tonight, last 12 games, a .409 hitter, 7 home runs, 12 ribbies. And the 3-2. High fly ball center field. Ellsbury drifts back. In front of the track, he makes the play for the first out.
It almost looked like he didn't want to throw him a fastball. All breaking balls except for the lone fastball that was well out of the strike zone. This is a strike. And Castillo picked on a big part of the ballpark here. And it didn't have that sound coming off the bat. And there's one down.
So Pedro Alvarez announces the pinch hitter. Larry Rothschild comes out and talks things over with Betances, goes over what they want to do. Nice little New York City matchup. Alvarez and Betances, both from the city.
Alvarez has been in the Orioles organization all year, mostly at AAA. Just recently brought up to the big leagues for these situations, coming off the bench, a left-handed hitter. Now here's a guy who tied for the National League lead in home runs a couple years ago, and primarily because he doesn't play much defense, it was hard for him to get a big league job this year.
The 1-0. 2-0 on Alvarez. And the pitch. Strike. He's liking his breaking ball tonight.
Yeah, but I don't know, maybe warming up, he didn't feel he had control of the fastball, but the breaking ball was working, so comes in and uses it.
There's a fastball.
It wasn't a strike, but Alvarez chased it. Right along the letters. Can't get on top of that when it's up near 100.
2-2. Dellin was born in Washington Heights, and Alvarez grew up in Washington Heights.
Alvarez eventually went to Vanderbilt, where he was a teammate of Oriole Ryan Flaherty.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him. And the Orioles are down to their final out.
Of all the curveballs he's thrown this inning, he's thrown some good ones. This is the best one. The bottom just falls out of it. Hard to put that one in play.
So here it is, down to Tim Beckham. Beckham tonight is 0 for 4. Beckham against Betances. Yankees lead 6-5, bottom of the 9th inning here in Baltimore. Manny Machado lurks.
I want to see him tomorrow.
Pitch outside, 1-0.
It is already tomorrow, isn't it?
You want to see him later today.
Yeah, later today.
The 1-0. There's a strike. The 1-1. 2-1. And the pitch. Missed outside, 3-1. Machado has homered in this game. That was in the 3rd inning. Has 31 on the year. And he walked him. So it will be Machado against Betances with the game on the line here in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Stayed with the breaking ball, and this one was inside for ball 4.
Now a threat in this situation is Beckham can run. And Joe Girardi thought that was strike 2, but you can see from the box that it was a bit inside. So does Beckham go right away, taking the pressure off Machado to get an extra base hit? We'll see. As Bird holds Beckham. Betances is well documented as slow to the plate. Fastball away, 1-0. 1 for 9 against Betances, 5 strikeouts. And the pitch. High fly ball, left center field. Going back is Ellsbury, looking up, see ya! A walk-off 2-run home run by Manny Machado, and the Yankees lose a tough one by the score of 7-6.
Well, like we said, you wanted to see him later today. This is not his first walk-off hit of the year.
Second home run of the night, 32nd on the season, and the Orioles trailing 6-1 after 2.5 innings of play, come back to win this one 7-6. This one stings, Kenny.
Anytime a closer or somebody's attempting to close gives up the runs in the 9th, it's gonna hurt. That's why you don't want Machado coming up this inning. The key was walking Beckham, who was certainly not the threat that Machado is.
Well, let's take a look, Kenny, at the Land Rover drive of the game.
Well, we mentioned the curveball to Alvarez was a good one. This was not a good one. This one kind of hung right up in the air, and Manny Machado did the rest. And he knew it as soon as he hit it. And you could tell by the way that Gardner and Ellsbury reacted in the outfield, this was not going to be caught.
And that is the Land Rover drive of the game, and it wins the game for the Orioles. And so a long night just seems a lot longer for the New York Yankees after this trot around the bases by Manny Machado. So the Yankees lose this one 7-6. The series is tied at a game apiece. The rubber game is tomorrow night. We go back to the studio now. Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry will set the table for the rest of the night, guys.